Hey guys, if you are here from my previous video, welcome back. If you have not seen that video yet, I suggest you go watch it. But my son is 4 and I updated you in the last video that he has quite a rap sheet of diagnoses. He has autism, hypotonia, which might be mild cerebral palsy per the neurologist, and Tourette's, also neurologist. So in this video, I want to dive into the world of autism, because that is probably what affects us the most out of everything. Oof, you know what? That's a close call between cerebral palsy also though, and hypotonia, because that's pretty scary and crappy too. So that's not what that's about. We are here to talk about all things autism, specifically for Alex. I have learned so much as an autism parent. I did not think I would be in this world. Not that anybody thinks that they would be in this world, but I tried to do everything possible. Maybe my spirit knew that this was a lesson I was going to be learning down here. I tried to do everything possible to have what you would call like the perfect pregnancy or whatever. I took all the vitamins, I went to all the doctor's appointments. I have a neurotypical daughter, and then fast forward to having them eat organic food, and I mean, what else? Delaying vaccines. Alex did not have his MMR vaccine before I get a bunch of comments about that until he was 3, 1 year after his autism diagnosis. I also did not see an increase in behaviors, knock on all the walls around me, after vaccines. So I'm not here to talk about vaccines. I appreciate everybody's journey. I believe everybody's story, and obviously because I delayed vaccines as well. So not gonna really talk about that because there's not much to talk about. Let's talk about autism as a baby. He was a big rocker in anything, in the high chair, in the stroller, in his playpen. He would rock, he would hit his head. Stop it. Buddy, come here. Okay, that was really hard. Hey, come here. No, thank you.
He's a bad brother. No, no, no. No, no, no.
He was terrified of making eye contact and looking at people as a baby. I remember for Christmas when extended family would come over, he would throw himself back no matter what type of flooring was underneath him, just to avoid them touching him, talking to him. He was very friendly to close friends and family, but if he didn't know you, he was not. And that could also be stranger danger. You know, I'm not saying everything's an end-all be-all. Also, on that note, I am not a doctor. I am not here to give advice. I'm not giving advice. I'm just telling a story that pertains to us. And Buzz is with me as a comfort item because I'm nervous. So he would rock. Some things he would do as a baby would be rocking. He had a lot of sensory issues. He could not put his hands down on grass or sand. He hated the park because obviously those are the two textures at the park. He had a lot of sensory needs. He also has hypotonia, especially in his throat, that would affect his eating and choking. But then you add on top of that sensory of food textures and types. And so he would have a problem with that. What else? Anyways, I kind of was like oblivious to it. I know all these diagnoses sound like I'm reaching for things, and I promise you I'm not, because one of the mom guilt things I have with this journey is that actually a lot of other people, in fact my husband, was like, I think we should get him tested for autism. And I was like, no, he's fine. Remember, I had 2 babies, 18 months apart, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And so I was just busy, like, cooking lunch and trying to get my baby to breastfeed who was choking all the time. And just, I didn't even think in the realm of autism or neurological issues for a long time. I was actually one of the last ones to get on board with it. In fact, side secret, I still question it. But I think all special needs parents, maybe specifically to autism, because some of them you can't really doubt. Like, I can't I can't question his hypotonia because he needs ankle braces and he might be bumped up to cerebral palsy, and I can't question that, but I can question autism, and I do, unfortunately, and it's this thing in my mind constantly as a special needs parent. But I was kind of one of the last ones to be on board for the autism diagnosis. We had red flags. So let's talk about how the journey of autism happened. So I was kind of taking you back, and I'm kind of all over the place. I'm kind of, whatever. But so he would rock a lot. He would go like this with his hands. He had a lot of finger strumming and hands.
Now it's strawberry time. Here's a microphone.
He would also randomly scream, but we might also chalk that up to Tourette's because that's a whole nother video that I'll make. Vocal stimming, rocking, not really, smiling. Well, he's now having a hard time smiling for pictures, but he wasn't that bad as a baby, actually. So we were at a doctor's appointment about something totally different. Remember, he has hypotonia, cerebral palsy. And so that has been its own journey, its own thing. So we were at a doctor's office that had nothing to do, well, actually, cerebral palsy does have to do with neurologic, but we just weren't there for autism, is what I'm trying to say. So he was rocking in the stroller as we're talking about something totally different. And the doctor was like, have you had him tested for autism? And my husband looks over at me like, And I was like, no, like we're here for, like, no, come on, let's talk about something else. And he's like, I'm gonna put in a referral for you to get tested for autism at 18 months. He got tested for autism with multiple specialists, developmental pediatrician, speech therapist. I think they did an OTPT eval at that time. Anyways, long story short, it came back. They sat us in a big long table, made a big hoopla about it to say, look, we see your red flags, but unless it's severe, we're not going to diagnose you until the age of 2. And he was 18 months. Come back at age 2. We come back at age 2, and they confirm it. They're like, look, we see the red flags. We also see some new things. And so stamp here, signed, sealed, delivered. Your son has autism. Welcome to the freaking club. With autism, let's take it. Also, that was at age 2. Let's take it back a step that at 18 months when he had the red flags, I was able to apply for what we have here in California called Regional Center. I'm not sure what it's called in other states, but it's basically the state to help you, which I really appreciate. So they picked up the bill. They gave us autism therapists before even an autism diagnosis at 18 months. At 18 hours a week, that's a lot in reference. Some parents get 4, some parents get like once a month, I don't know. So the state gave us 18 hours a week ABA therapy already at 18 months. Fast forward to age 2, they didn't care that he didn't have a stamp of approval, insurance, whatever. They just came to our house, evaluated him themselves, and said, yes, we see autism, but that wasn't the medical, that was the state. Anyways, so then at 2, we go back, they stamp of approval, say he's got autism, and then with that diagnosis came occupational therapy and physical therapy, which we already needed for hypotonia. And so now, fast forward, he is in special ed for autism at our public school system, and I love it. They're the best. He's literally, this classroom is such a melting pot. There's Down syndrome, there's just plain speech delay, there's autism. They've even now put in his class this new year neurotypical. So there's just literally like the biggest arrangement, and I love it so much, and it's so personable, and the teacher is awesome. So red flags at 18 months, state kicks in at 18 months, and then insurance says yes, autism at age 2, but then at age 3 the state comes in, evaluates him again, and says, look, he's high functioning, we're not going to pay your autism bills anymore, you're on your own. So then we had to sign up with Easter Seals, which is our local, I don't even know what they are, but you just have to do it. I don't know. They're like your mediator of all of your special needs things. Easter Seals is not just, and I think there's even nationwide, they're not just autism. Anyways, so now we're at 3 years old. He starts special ed preschool because the school district takes over. He had a full eval at the school district. And then now at age 4, we have the same teacher again, and she's amazing, special ed through the school. We are still in OT and PT. We are still having autism therapy, and he's doing amazing. In fact, one thing about Alex's autism is he has something called splinter skills. He is amazing at certain things. He's amazing at math. He is 4 years old. He already knows addition, He understands the concept of multiplication. He knows shapes, all the basics, and then he knows extended shapes from there. He's got splinter skills on academics. He can read, and he's 4 years old. And I do not hardcore work with him. I've got 2 children 18 months apart. My other daughter deserves as much of my attention. So I'm not harping him with school and everything. I just treat him like a normal kid, and he's a freaking little genius. He's so smart. But remember, that comes at a cost of some deficits in other areas where autism takes over. But anyways, he loves dinosaurs. He knows all the breeds of dinosaurs. What else is he super good at? Amazing at math, can already read. I'm going to include some things. I actually had an assessment done for him to get what level he was at for, his intelligence. And he scored, it wasn't IQ, but he scored in a 6 to 7 year old range. And he just turned 4 4 weeks ago. So he's super smart. We also see some things that he's behind in, like making friends. He does love his sister, but in a group of people, he will definitely come to me more than, and that could be chalked up to being shy, but also we know that he has autism. It's actually one of his goals in school is to go play on the playground with other children, and he kind of just tends to stick. I'm kind of like his person, and his dad. He's obsessed with his dad. He literally all day will repeat that his dad is his best friend. He also repeats what he says a lot, so he has echolalia. He repeats what you say. Sometimes what he says doesn't make sense, like his sentences. So we've got some pluses and minuses, and we're just making it work. We're hoping to put him into neurotypical kinder in a few years, after a few years of special ed, but I have no overwhelming expectations. I just love my little guy, and I'm going to be including some videos of when he was younger. That's it. That's our autism world, and it's scary and it's exciting, and what I can say is I've made some of my best friends in the special needs world. I've maintained friendships with the therapists, and you're not in this alone. You're also welcome anytime to message me. I have an Instagram specifically about documenting and taking pictures and talking about Alex. It's called Raising Someone Special. I do it with my best friend Stephanie, who also has a daughter with autism. We started Raising Someone Special because we want to reach out to special needs parents no matter what it is. I don't care if it's a speech delay. I don't care if it's a one muscle tone tic, they go like that. I don't care. I don't even care if it's nothing. I have a neurotypical daughter, and even if she was my only kid, I would need mom friends. So we realized the need, not just mom, any friends, caretakers, therapists, dads, anybody. We feel the need that this could be a very lonely world. And another reason why I'm looking straight into this Canon zoom lens right now, it's freaking scary. But it's to let you know that you're not alone. And it sucks. It freaking sucks sometimes, but you can do this. And I'm here for you, and I want to be your friend. It's a lonely world, and it doesn't have to be. I am not a doctor. I'm not giving advice, but I am just being vulnerable and telling you what our life is like, and maybe it is also something you can relate to. And even if not, you know what? A lot of friends of mine have reached out to me because I do Facebook Live videos or Raising Someone Special, and they're like, thank you so much for doing that video, because as a neurotypical parent, I am able to see into the world of special needs and how I can teach my children inclusion and how to be kind and how to make friends with everybody, no matter what's going on. So I welcome you into a friendship with me. Please stay tuned. I'm also going to be making a video on Tourette's and cerebral palsy. And thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys later. Toodles!